Hey guys, it's the Ched, your C10 truck nerd. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you know I picked up this small block 350 and turbo 350 to go in forest a while back, but I'm just not a huge fan of this mustard yellow color that the engine is. So I've got my partner Lincoln here. He's going to help me degrease the engine today, and we're going to come up with some other color to go through and paint this thing. You ready to get to work?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So first thing, we have a couple different options of cleaning an engine up. Some guys are going to elect to seal the whole engine off, spray some degreaser on it, and then power wash it. And that's not a bad thing to do, but this engine isn't that dirty. So what we're going to do is just grab some engine degreaser, and we're going to spray it on there and just grab some old shop rags and just try to wipe it off. If you guys don't have any engine degreaser, if you look at the ingredients, number one item on here is diesel fuel. So if you got any diesel, just go through and you can spray that in with a spray bottle or just put it on some rags and start cleaning that way. Now once we get this all cleaned up, we're gonna have to go through and prep that engine a little bit more because that degreaser or diesel is gonna leave this film or oil on there, and we're gonna need to get that. Some guys like to use the degreaser and paint prep spray. If you don't have any of that, a cheap way to do it is just grab your isopropyl alcohol, just rubbing alcohol, mix that 50-50 with some water, get a clean rag and wipe it all down good. So that's what I'm going to elect to do. Next thing we got to do is run to town and figure out what color we want to paint this thing. So it's been a month or three since I've been down here to work on the old engine for Forest, and anymore it's kind of getting confusing to figure out which one it is, but I'm pretty sure it's this one off old engine row. So let's wheel it out and take a look at it. Oh, that's her. Cobwebs. So what I've noticed is the engine paint is kind of flaking and coming off in big chunks in certain areas. So to address that, I'm going to get some sandpaper or even one of these metal wire brushes, and I'm going to try to knock off the big stuff. Once I get that done, I'm going to go back with another round of rubbing alcohol, try to wipe everything down, and then we can get to painting. So when you guys go to get paint, make sure you're buying some type of engine enamel or a high temp paint. That way it can stick or adhere to that engine a little bit better. Then you want to go through and read all the instructions on the back of the can. Now the brand that I chose to use, they want me to spray this stuff when it's between 60 and 95 degrees, and yeah, that's just not going to happen. I think the high today is maybe 40, but we did crank up the heat in the shop, so that engine block should be a little bit warmer. But one thing I forgot to do was bring the spray paint cans in out of the truck, so great. Now, one trick that I've been using for years in the winter months is just to go through and get a big cup or a bucket, fill it full of hot water, and just throw those paint cans in there. That way it thins it out a little bit, and it's gonna spray so much better. That way you don't get all that, splatters all over the place. So we'll let this cook for a little bit, and then we can get to painting. So I've got the engine all sanded down. I've wiped it down one last time with the rubbing alcohol, and it's time for the paint. So I chose to go with the old original Chevrolet orange. Now they make the orange red, but I just like the bright orange. I think it's gonna look pretty cool since forest is green and looks pretty cruddy. So when you pop the hood, it's gonna look like it doesn't belong. So we'll go through. It's gonna take probably 3 light coats. This stuff's pretty thin, so I'm gonna work my way all the way around it, mask it the best that I could, and if we get overspray, oh well. So quick tip, if you're gonna be painting an engine, you might throw some cardboard down, or you might spray paint your cousin's floor. Oops. So I just finished up the 3rd coat, and I gotta say, this turned out really good. Now I only used 1.5 cans of the Dupli-Color, and I gotta say it's way better than the old mustard yellow that it was before. Now I didn't clean the front of the engine as good as I thought. I got a couple areas where there must have been some grease or oil, and it just didn't adhere as good as it should have. But truly, this cost me about 25 bucks to go from gross to this, so I'm pretty impressed. Well, if you guys haven't, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out my other 67 to 72 videos. Well, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching. That was pretty good. What color do you think it should be? Orange?
Blue, because your eye is blue.
Oh, so pretty.